Hello, it's Sadie. I wanted to come on and do a March 2022 energy reading. The title of this video is going to be The Catalyst. And so there is so much coming through for March. I'm going to do a little disclaimer because this video is going to be a little bit different than what I normally do. I just want to say for the disclaimer, there's a lot of messages that I need to bring in related to the current events that are taking place in the world. And I understand if that is something you just don't want to listen to, that's fine. I am going to do a card reading, so I will timestamp the tarot card reading and oracle card reading that I'm going to do later on in the video. But this first part of this video, and it could be a little bit longer, is sort of the downloads, messages, and guidance that I've been given to share for right now, for some support for those who need it. Okay, so with that, let's talk about the energy of March. March is a catalyst month. What is a catalyst? A catalyst is something that triggers massive change and transformation. And so we are in the midst of this energy now. The thing with March is that there's a lot of unknown. There's a lot of unknown factors. The reason why is because we have this Wheel of Fortune energy. This is the Wheel of Karma. This is the Wheel of Luck. This is the Wheel of Fortune. Fortune can be reversed, so it can be bad fortune and bad luck, but can also be good. Right now, all of us collectively are on this wheel. We're on different places on the wheel, and this wheel is spinning very, very quickly. And each and every person individually, as well as the entire collective of the human race of this world, is sort of creating the timeline that they will experience. And so it's a heavily karmic time. A lot of people use the word karmic as bad. Spirit's saying, no, don't think of it as bad or necessarily negative. It is just more of the results of past and prior actions and behaviors. It's also because it's the result of past actions and behaviors or current actions and behaviors. Karma can be very beneficial. I did a few videos on karma last year where I talk about we have a karma credit limit and we also accrue karmic debt. And so for many, this Wheel of Fortune energy in March is going to be the culmination of your karma credit. You know, all the good that you have accrued, you really seeing tangible physical evidence of that. For others, this month will be the culmination of all the karmic debt that is due and owing. Okay. And you're going to see this play out personally and collectively for everybody. We're all choosing new timelines. We're all on the path that we're meant to be, whether we are an ascension path or a descension path. I talk about the two main timelines in the 2022 energy reading videos, and how there is one timeline that is a 5D timeline and is an ascension timeline. There are many of us that are on this timeline that are growing, that are expanding, that are becoming our highest potential, that are merging with our higher selves, and that are really becoming the sovereign spiritual masters we came here to remember who we truly were and to become. But there are others who chose a different path. There are others who chose a path of dissension. They chose a path of destruction. They chose a path of darkness, and they are being consumed by that right now. And they're going to descend further and further, because this 3D timeline, there is a split in consciousness, there is a split in vibration, there is a split in energy, and the 3D timeline is ending. And so the one thing that I can say for all of us is, regardless of what path you're on, pretty much everybody who sees this video is probably on the ascension 5D timeline, whether you consider yourself spiritual or not. But what I'll say is, you know, we all have our own path, we all have our own journey, and it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay, no matter what someone has chosen for themselves. Ultimately, the grand design, the greater divine plan is that eventually everything comes back into oneness, everything comes back into unity consciousness. And so if there are people and situations that are ending in your life because you're definitely diverging paths, and you're on your ascension path and they're on their descension path, let go with love. Let go with love. The other thing with the energy right now is that there's a lot of moon energy. Keep pulling this card for the world right now. And what Spirit has been telling me about the energy of the moon is that there's just so much hidden underneath the surface that none of us truly can see or understand. And there's many things that are not exactly what they seem or appear to be. Really trust your own instincts, your own intuition, and your own discernment, regardless of what I say, regardless of what anybody on YouTube says, regardless of what anybody on social media says, regardless of your favorite news outlet, regardless of any of that. And this is a time to really tap into your own inner voice, your own intuition, your own inner guidance, and to seek that guidance, to seek within and not without, okay? We have a significant amount of grief energy, a significant amount of loss energy right now. People are dying, people are losing their lives, people are losing everything that they have ever known and having to flee to protect themselves, to protect their families. There's a lot of loss. There's a lot of suffering. And so the Three of Swords energy is going to be very, very strong this month in March. But as I was reminded by my beautiful soul sister, Deborah, crystal clear, Pandora's last gift was the gift of hope. There is always hope. You will see shimmers of light, I'm being told, areas of hope in the darkness this month of March. And so really, really hold on to your faith, hold on to hope for humanity, hold on to hope for an easier way for all of us to move through these energies. But hope, divine inspiration, divine intervention will be here and will be available for all those who want it this month of March. And then the last main energy of March is the Three of Coins, which is also known as the Three of Pentacles. There will be some aspect of rebuilding towards the end of March, rebuilding something. And this is going to be both individually and collectively. There'll be aspects of desiring to rebuild, desiring to move forward. So with that, I need to bring in some sort of practical tips and advice I was guided to share. I'm going to go back to briefly mention the 2022 part 2 energy reading video that I did on the 1st of this year. Around 18 minutes into the video, I start talking about the economy. And again, nothing I say is to elicit fear. What Spirit is always telling me, and I share this a lot, is to be forewarned is to be forearmed. If you know a storm is coming, it is better to prepare for it ahead of time than to scramble and panic at the last minute. And so with that, again, I mentioned the economy, and I mentioned that this would be a good time to go and get extra supplies of the things that you need, the things that you use, extra water, extra food items, extra non-perishable items, also extra toothpaste, extra mouthwash, extra deodorant. It's going to be very, very important, especially beginning this week, because the energy is moving so quickly and things are accelerating at such an intense and insane pace right now. To go and get extra supplies for yourself, for your family. If you usually typically go grocery shopping for a week at a time, buy 2 weeks worth of stuff, freeze stuff, put stuff away. If you only buy toilet paper or soap and stuff as needed, this would be a good time to buy those things in bulk. And this is why. Cyber attacks. Okay, this is the more immediate threat to all of us right now. Right before Ukraine was fully invaded, they had a massive cyber attack that impacted their banking system, their internet, everything shut down. People could not get access to certain things, okay? And the reason why I'm bringing this through is because if there were to be a major cyber attack, which is the most probable energy of March, you would not be able to use your debit card, your credit card, if all the computer systems and stuff are down. You cannot use debit, you cannot use credit. You need cash, and you need to have supplies on hand to prepare yourself in case there is something that takes place of that nature. It's starting to happen more and more. And so again, it's not to bring in any fear, but it is to let you know what potentially could occur so that you can prepare for it now before it does. And this is a good time also, if you're a person that only uses debit or only uses credit, to go and get some cash from the bank. If you go take out a little bit of cash from the bank, have enough for a couple days of what your needs would be. Don't take out all of the cash. Don't go and panic, but definitely have what you would need for a couple days in case computer systems go down. And also save your receipts of the transactions that you do with banking and all of those things, because again, if computers go down, if accounts get zeroed out, your proof, your protection would be that receipt that shows the date and time where you took out this certain amount and what your remaining balance is. I've had a personally issue this was a few years ago, where there was an issue with my account, and my saving grace was that I had that receipt and I had the transaction number and I had the batch number, because it was one of the first things the bank asked me for is, do you have the transaction number and the batch number of the deposit that you just made? I deposited in the bank, and they didn't show the deposit. And so it didn't look like I had as much money as I had in my account. And I was able to show them that. And then within an hour, it was resolved. I share this again because probably outside of a World War III timeline, this is the more probable way that people will be harmed. And so be aware, protect yourself. They were telling me to be proactive, to protect your assets, and just to understand that, like, the unfortunate side of living in a digital world where everything is digital is that if the digital goes down, what do you do? Okay. The other thing that Spirit really, really wanted me to bring through right now is as much fear and as much anxiety as is going around in the collective. It's important, truly, truly important, to stay in your heart, to stay in compassion. You know, Kuan Yin is one of my guides. She is a bodhisattva. She watches over humanity. And one of the things she's always saying to me is compassion is the highest choice. When you can have compassion, not just for yourself and your own suffering and your own pain, but the suffering and pain of others, you are more aligned to healing. You are more aligned to peace. You are more aligned to solutions. You are more aligned to the energy of forgiveness. It does great things to have an open heart, to have a compassionate heart, regardless of how other people treat you. That's the most important thing. You can still hold compassion for somebody, even if there's someone that, you know, you could view as an enemy, or you could view as someone who has been very negative towards you. This is a time where we as light workers really have to step up and be the light and be the change we wish to see in the world. And you can only do that through compassion and kindness for others. If you're judging others, if you're saying, oh, well, that's their problem over there, you're missing the point of all of this. You're missing the point of ascension. The true purpose of ascension is unity consciousness. We're all in this together. There is no separation. So please understand, compassion is the highest choice right now. Spirit wanted me to bring through this because this is kind of where we're all at in this cup of water. And as there is more density, the water gets polluted. More fear, more violence, more division, more separation, more anger. You can take this as all the lower vibrational energy in the world, and it is just polluting us right now. All right? And so what you have to understand is that the more of this that you allow in your energy field, the more your energy field gets polluted and you're not as connected to the light, as connected to source, as connected to your guidance as you can be. You're not as clean and clear as you need to be. And so I've been asked to really share that this is a time to really step back from social media, from news, from people in your life and in your environment who pollute your energy field. Okay? If it makes you feel good, if it lifts you up, if it warms your heart, if it opens your heart, keep doing more of that. But if you feel like you're getting dragged down, you're getting polluted, this is the time to really step away from it, because our vibrations right now, for us to create the highest timeline, for us to influence all this heavy energy, all this darkness, we have to keep our vibrations as high as possible. We have to be the light. We have to hold the light. We have to hold the line. And the best way that you can do that is to, again, just remove yourself, detach yourself from anything or anyone that is polluting your energy field, that is draining you, that is dragging you down. It's so important. It's so important. Energetic protection, psychic protection, holding a vibration of peace, holding a vibration of love. Because we that do that, we that hold this light, can really shift the vibration and the timeline to a higher timeline for the entire collective. We influence this just as much as the darkness influences us. We influence this. And so you really, really, it's such an important month to align yourself to your highest good, whatever that is for you. And that's different for different people, but really this is an important month, an important time to align to your highest light and really share that light with the world. Some of the messages that Spirit was saying is like, start doing random acts of kindness for people you don't know. Start paying it forward. You're getting a cup of coffee, you're getting gas, pay it forward to the person behind you. These little things, and they seem de minimis when we're thinking about a global war, and we're thinking about nuclear power, and we're thinking about all these countries fighting. They seem de minimis, but they are big things. The little things really do matter. They really do count. And they make a difference in someone's life. They make a difference in someone's world. You don't know how you buying that cup of coffee for the person behind you might change their entire vibration and change the course of not just their day, but their life, because you did something kind for them. This is the time for us to really hold the light, to shine the light, to be kindness, to be compassionate, to give, to share, without expecting anything in return, just because we want to, just because our hearts are open and we want to see other people be happy, and we want to see other people feel safe, and we want this world to be the golden, beautiful, extraordinary world that it can be. And this is a really, really important time for all of us to do that. The other thing too is that It's also a very, very important time, regardless what you may be going through personally, to hold gratitude in your heart for your life. Find something, anything to be grateful for, because there are hundreds of thousands of people right now who've had to flee their homes, who've watched everything they love be blown up, who will never see their husbands again, will never see their children again, will never be able to go back to their homes. They've lost everything, that wish they could be in your position. And so please find gratitude, live in gratitude. I've been doing this for years, but I make a daily gratitude list. At the end of the day, I write down all the things that I was grateful for that day. And I thank God, I thank the universe, I thank my guides, I thank my angels. Thank you for safety. Thank you for protection. Thank you that my children are happy and healthy. Thank you that, thank you, I have what I need. Gratitude is so important right now, because it's so easy to look at your life. It's so easy to look at where you're at and say, oh man, I wish for this, or that didn't work out, I'm feeling disappointed. But we cannot take for granted the grace that we have in this moment, because that could change for all of us very quickly. Again, it's not happening over there. It's happening here. It's happening right now. We're all in this together. And so don't think that what is happening in Ukraine, what is happening in a different part of the world doesn't impact you. It does. It does. The other thing that they wanted to bring through is that, again, this month is going to be so up and down. This wheel is just spinning around. And so don't get comfortable. Don't get too, what's the word I want to use? Attached to any certain thing, any certain situation, because everything is changing so quickly now. Everything is accelerating so fast. It's like something could be here today and gone today. So just don't get attached. And know that no matter what, no matter what changes occur, no matter what's happening in your world, you are divinely directed and protected. There are so many angels right now. I mean, I'm just constantly seeing like the flashes of light everywhere. Archangel Michael's coming through very strongly. We have our galactic family, the Galactic Council of Light. We have so many ascended masters. There's so much help. Reach out for help. You do not have to struggle. You do not have to suffer in silence. Reach out for help, pray, meditate, whatever you can do to make yourself feel balanced, calm, at peace. Because the thing about peace is that it begins within you. It's a state of mind. It's a state of being within all of us. To have peace in the world, you have to choose peace for yourself. And you have to embody that choice. You have to embody that peace. One of the ways that you can embody peace is to let go of your personal grievances, to let go of your personal, resentments towards others. Really, it doesn't matter. We're going into 5D. Don't take that shit with you. Let that shit go. Like, this is the best time to just let that shit go. What else? Really understand too that, we weren't just put here to live the best of our lives. We are here to make a difference in the lives of others. And so be that light. Be that light for your neighbor. Be that light for someone in your life that doesn't have a light, doesn't have hope, doesn't have encouragement, doesn't have someone that genuinely cares about them. There's so many people in this world that feel angry and bitter because they feel like they're alone. They feel like nobody loves them. And so again, just random acts of kindness, just holding that door open, helping that old lady with her grocery bags, saying kind words to people, giving people compliments, making them feel good. It goes a long way, and it's gonna go a long way for this month of March. All right, so with that, we'll talk about the astrology briefly, and then I'll get into the cards. We have a new moon in Pisces on the 2nd of March. This is actually a great new moon. Pisces energy is very emotional. We're in Pisces season now, but it can be very inspiring. It's like you can get those divine ideas and that inspiration of like what you're meant to do, what you're meant to go. All these things could come through right now. Downloads, higher intuition, higher knowledge, enlightenment. So a beautiful, beautiful new moon at the beginning of this month. We also have had over the last couple weeks, and this is continuing through March, sort of the dance and interplay of the Mars and Venus energy together. This was going to bring up sort of like a tug of war type of energy between the masculine and feminine, where our choices are either love or power. And so you're going to see this play out individually, and you're also going to see it play out in the collective on a global scale. We're seeing it play out now. And so just be aware that that's the energy. Again, peace is a state of being within you. If you want to have balance between the masculine and feminine energies, the best way to do that is to balance your own inner masculine and feminine energies. And we are going to have a full moon in Virgo on March 18th. This full moon is going to be very grounding. It's going to help to bring to light also some of the things that have been hidden from us. So during this time, some truths will be illuminated for everybody to see and know. And then we enter Aries season on March 20th. This is where things get could be a little more strange, only because Aries is the god of war. And so because the energy is so amped up right now, Aries season could bring out a lot more of an amplification of the current tensions, the current intensity. So I just wanted to bring that through so that you're aware of that. And again, go, if you can, do it now. Get some extra supplies, get some extra water, get some extra stuff for you and for your family, and just make sure you have what you need in case there are times where you cannot go out and easily access these items. Okay, so with that, we are going to pull a few cards from the Tattoo Tarot. Higher Self, Holy Spirit, guides and guardians of unconditional love. What further messages do you want to bring through for this month of March 2022? It's nice. All right. So the first card that flew out was the Chariot. This is always about triumph, about victory, about overcoming obstacles and adversity. It's also about things moving very, very fast. So again, there's a very, very fast moving energy at this time. Do what you can to stay balanced, do what you can to stay grounded, and just focus on the light as much as possible. We have the Four of Coins, financial stability, but also sort of hoarding and holding on to money. This is a good month to, not overspend, to really watch your finances, to really bide your expenditures, to, just play it safe this month because things are going to be so unstable. You'll always have enough, but if you can, watch out for impulse buying or buying things that you don't really need or use, that would be wise to do this month. You have the Queen of Cups, Pisces energy, Cancer energy, or Scorpio energy. This is about being really open emotionally, being emotionally available, and sort of having your heart on your sleeve. I like that the heart tattoo is sort of right there on the side of her arm. But yeah, there's a lot of energy around emotions, around being in your heart, about having an open heart. And that's really gonna help to shift the vibration, because love is the most powerful force in this entire universe. Love is what we are made of, and so just keep your heart open. Allow your emotions to pour out. Like, don't try to hold in your emotions. It's okay to grieve. It's okay to feel things. Really let yourself feel your feelings this month. We also have the Seven of Cups. So this is all about sort of choices, fantasies, options, for the collective, for all of us. There's a lot of options right now. There's many roads. There's many paths that we could take. And so if you want the highest path, you have to keep your vibration high. If you want the highest good for all, you have to hold that intention for the highest good of all. And it can be done. It will be done. But there's a lot of thoughtful consideration that needs to take place for all of us, individually and collectively. And so just be mindful of the choices that you're making this month of March, because they will impact you in the future. Again, it's a very karmic time. Karma can be good, but karma can also be very difficult and very challenging. Six of Swords. This is a card of moving beyond conflict. This is a card of moving into peace, moving into calmer waters. That might be a signal that things will calm down. But again, if you want peace, you have to hold the energy of peace. You have to hold the intention of peace. You have to hold the light, because there's a lot of anger and hatred and violence right now that is part of a darker agenda to keep people in fear. And so you have to choose to look at your fears, to look at your anxieties, to look at your worries, but to remain calm. To know in your heart, in your soul, that you are protected, and that we will move forward. We will move beyond this. This too shall pass. Temperance. Patience, modesty, moderation, treading carefully, staying in balance. These are the things that are going to help us have victory, help us move forward, help us move beyond these heavier, denser, intense energies right now. We have to have temperance. We have to really, really watch what we do, what we say, how we say it. And, you know, temperance is a very beautiful energy because she's all about just going gently, going softly. This is a time to really not rush things through. Really take your time. Be conscientious of yourself and others, and just hold a space for balance and to stay balanced within yourself, because you'll really, really see the change of the energy around you if you do. Top of the deck was Wheel of Fortune. So Wheel of Fortune's coming out again. We're all sort of creating our destiny individually and collectively. This month is a huge catalyst, a huge movement, either forward or movement backward. And you have a choice. You always have a choice in how you are going to react or respond to a situation. Will you react with fear? Will you respond with love? That is the choice for all of us individually and collectively this month at this time. Bottom of the deck is 5 of Coins. So this is that financial instability. There will be some financial instability this month of March. And so it doesn't have to impact you though. Just because it impacts the world doesn't mean it has to impact you individually. But again, you want to use 4 of Coins energy. This is the time where you do want to budget, where you do want to maybe hold on to your resources, get rid of, you know, superfluous spending. You know, I don't need another tarot deck, even though I love tarot decks. It's like, this is not a month for me to go buy some more tarot decks, right? So if there's anything that you love and you love buying, but it's like you really don't need more of it, this is a month for you to not buy more of it, okay? But overall, not bad energies. I'm very, very hopeful with the Chariot, with the 6 of Swords and Temperance. That's some good news for humanity, which we all need right now. We all sort of need that good news. We all need a win. And so I actually want to clarify. I'm going to do this time. I'm going to clarify the Chariot, the 6 of Swords, Temperance, and the Wheel of Fortune. I'm using the mini pocket deck. This is the Everyday Tarot miniature deck. Ace of Pentacles for the Chariot. So even though there's financial instability, individually, each of us might have new opportunities for abundance. For the 6 of Swords, the Fool, a new beginning. We are coming into springtime. I forgot to mention that. We have the equinox, which is a beautiful balancing point. I think it's either March 21st or 22nd. And that's springtime. Spring is the energy of new beginnings, new life, renewal. And so there is this beautiful full energy. So hopefully by that 6 of Swords time, the equinox will all be in this new energy, this renewal energy, and move past the heavier energies that we're currently in. Temperance. Give me a card for Temperance. Clarify Temperance. Let's see what wants to come. 2 of Pentacles. So there is some financial juggling. Things will be up and down. That's what I'm feeling. Because I keep feeling myself sort of like, they showed me a picture of, if you've ever gone whitewater rafting, the boat is kind of like very rocky on these like waves on the river, and it's just moving very, very quickly. And it's like, you know, you're sort of going back and forth. You're moving all about there's a lot of this sort of back and forth energy this month. So just be aware of that. Could be feast or famine. So again, if you have more right now, go get extra stuff. And Knight of Pentacles on the Wheel of Fortune. So this is stability, but it is slow moving. There may be a slow moving rebuild of things in our life during this month of March, but it is one of the most stable and really dependable energies in the tarot. So this is a good sign, but Knight of Pentacles moves very, very slowly. So with all the financial instability that I'm feeling, getting stability back for the collective could be a slow process. All right. Oh, I forgot to bring through a couple other things too. The other reason why you want to buy things now, if you can go out and buy extra things now, is because of the prices of everything will start to skyrocket. They're going to rise even more than they are now. Obviously, gas prices are a big thing that's going to rise. The food prices, the price for, toothpaste, the price for deodorant, the price for soap, all these things are going to start to rise. And so you might want to get it now while it's, 30-40% less than what it could be at the end of March. Okay. And the other thing they wanted me to bring through, and I didn't talk about it, but I'll talk about it now, is hope. So again, hope was the last gift that came out of Pandora's box. And as bleak as things really seem, there is this beautiful energy of hope that's beneath all of it. They brought me to one of the things that actually brings me a lot of hope. So I'm a huge dork. I love all the Marvel superhero movies. And one of my favorite scenes of any movie is in Avengers Endgame, towards the end, where Captain America just literally got his ass kicked by Thanos. His shield is broken in pieces, broken in half. He sees Thanos's huge galactic army coming in from the sky, and he's literally I don't know what I'm gonna do. In that moment, he just looks like he's completely defeated. But he slowly picks himself up and he stands up and he's just I'm gonna fight to the death. It doesn't even matter anymore. And in that moment, he hears on his comm, he hears Sam, who is the Falcon. Sam says, "Captain, can you hear me? Can you hear me?" And Captain America's startled for a second because he's wait a minute, I can't believe I'm hearing you. And then Sam says, "On your left." And he looks to his left and he sees one of Doctor Strange's portal things, and out comes a Black Panther, out comes, the whole crew. Everybody comes back. And in that moment, he realizes that they won. They won. They brought everybody back. Everybody who got blipped out, disappeared from Thanos, they brought them all back. And he stands up and he looks forward and he says, "Avengers, assemble." And they all go out and fight the fight, right? And so why I love that scene so much, and it brings me hope, is because that's how spirit works. That's how God really works. When you think all the chips are down, when you think there's nowhere else that you can go, when you think that it's the end, God, the universe, the angels, the whole crew come through, the cavalry comes in, and that's when the miracle happens. And so I was guided to share that because we gotta believe that we didn't come this far just to get this far, okay? The divine will intervene at the perfect moment, at the perfect time. Just keep doing what you're doing. Keep holding the light. Keep being the light. We got this, okay? We got this. Sending unconditional love for everybody for this month of March. We're in this together. Just hold each other, lift each other up, all right? Take care.